So moved.
Second that.
All right, motion by Billy, second by Matt. Clearly, there's no discussion or debate, so we'll call that approved. And then we're looking at the December 2nd minutes.
So moved.
Second that as well.
Second by Matt. All those in favor, aye.
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 Awesome. I gotta say, thank you both. I see the website's updated with all minutes and agendas, and it's nice to get the digital agenda earlier. It just helps like prepare for these meetings, so awesome, really appreciate it.
Check help me with that, this all go.
Oh, yeah, you can't do it alone. Okay, open to the public. Nobody's present. So we'll move on to public hearing reception.
So we shared the slides from the PowerPoint out to the group here. Just wanted to give some feedback if you hadn't had a chance to watch it or did, or anything like that. But the first meeting we had was midday. There was about 40 participants. The majority of the participants were riders. Between the participants at the hearing and the feedback that we got from the community through other channels, there was a full representation of all of the routes affected and pretty much all the routes in general. The consensus from the midday meeting was high concern on the hospital route going on the hour during the weekdays specifically, more than even the weekends. And also a lot of, not a lot, but there was significant discussion about how Marble Valley links with other service providers in the state, and the utility of the Manchester route and heading up into that Middlebury route as well. So there was also, I'd say, some collaboration as well. People were looking for fares to return. We've heard nothing but positive on looking for fares to return to the system. So
Asking, shall see.
that's right, yeah. At the board meeting, we will have a proposal on the timeline and re-implementation for next week. So second meeting was much less attended. I think there was like 8 people there in total, different crowd of folks. Mainly concerns about Killington during that one, and just making sure, trying to think, there were questions about the impacts, but I think mainly it was about Killington from what I heard.
I think the biggest thing that seemed to come up that evening meeting was the concerns over the holiday reduction. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and
Killington a little bit, but yeah, it seemed like at least Jim, that was his big sticking point, was the holiday reduction. And it sounded like to me, there's just some bit of miscommunication in that prior board meeting.
right.
Cause he texted me and I'm like, I don't remember one way or the other. He thought he had heard it was just administrative staff. And I'm like, well, they're not working anyways, because it's a holiday, right? So I think that was the big sticking point more than anything. And for you guys to sort of say, hey, in terms of this fiscal year, we're only looking at Memorial Day. So, it's not that huge impact that we might think it is to like the winter service during holidays in the mountain, right? Like President's Week and all those other things that are happening. So
And maybe there was miscommunication also in between the two meetings of, we are not looking at reducing the service on the holidays that do still serve that winter, because those are under agreements. So we would continue running that service based on the agreements.
yeah.
We would have to, it's too high of a, maybe it wasn't, there's room for changing that. We did want to look at this fiscal year. That was the goal, is to look at this fiscal year and then move into the next year. But,
I thought what was really interesting was, by and large, from the two meetings, the concerns in my mind were primarily workforce commuting.
Yep.
Which is like
Agreed.
the gold standard for what we do. And then beyond that, it seemed like health appointments were that next tier.
Yep.
But nothing else really even percolated from that. It seemed to me like access to jobs was the number one concern, and the ability to pay was high. Like, they were all like, we'll take fares, we'll take any fare level you can throw at us. Like, if it's not 50 cents anymore, if it's $2, $5, it doesn't matter. They're in for it, which is honestly was really encouraging to hear that for me, because you just don't always know without a like really laborious survey to figure out where people are going and why. Especially that Manchester group, I was blown away. That many people working an hour away from Rutland. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it makes sense though, because like, look at Ludlow and Okemo, they're working 45 minutes away, so.
Mhm.
There's just no housing and no affordable housing in Manchester, so.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I don't know what the service is like down there with GMCN, right, so like,
Mhm.
or GM.
Yeah.
GMCN, yeah. So, yeah. I'm curious for you guys in the
So what would-
staff. Oh, go ahead, Bill.
What's the fee now to go to Manchester?
0.
We're still fare free.
Oh, and so, I didn't realize that. I thought Ludlow, Manchester, and some of the, like Middlebury were paying fee, but so everything's 0 right now.
Yes.
Aha.
Is there any standard in the state for rates to differ between city fixed and commuter?
I'm gonna look into that this week.
Because it would seem like commuters should be higher.
That's
That's what we have before, yeah, so all of our commuters except for Proctor, $2, our in-city was 50 cents.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So even if that went to $2 in the city or $1 in the city, and then
that's kind of where I'm
$3
thinking.
$3 to $5 in
Yeah.
commuters, that's not insane.
We were looking at it two different ways. It's meeting the standard of where the dollar amount is, or looking at it and saying our ridership compared to when we were there is down. If we were to
So
even
make
match
that
that,
up.
right?
Yeah,
And kind of like the sky's the limit versus just meeting where we were.
it might also be interesting just to look at the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and like, from that first setting of rates to now, what has been inflation?
For 2020,
So the last time I looked was months ago, when we
Right.
were first doing the evaluation, and nationally, it hadn't gone up that substantially, but.
The rates or the inflation? Okay,
I'm sorry.
inflation, like CPI is like 20%, right, for that period, so it's like,
You're saying do inflation to the rate.
right, or like have a little bit more of a one-to-one crosswalk versus like, but I see what you mean, like. If the standard nationally on rates has been to not model inflation, there's probably a reason for that,
However, that was now 9 months ago,
right.
so it could have
Oh, it's
already
changed
shifted
again,
and changed.
yeah. Bill, did you have something you wanted to add? I'm sorry.
I talked about it last night at the board, and they asked me, and I says, no, we don't have any fees yet. And they were like, we're rumbling, and I go, well, wait a minute. It is on the table for discussion. And yes, I believe we're going to be going there. It's just making sure the magic wand is we don't push ourselves out of business while we're trying to gather more money. It's got to be a happy medium balance here to keep the ridership there, but meanwhile, pay our way as we go.
We also didn't have a choice when the
Right,
state
right,
went fare
right,
free,
right.
Right.
Yeah, it was safety protocol.
Right.
Well,
I don't see why you can't do $1 in the city. I mean, to get a cab in the city, you're looking at, a Uber driver or any of those guys, it's at least, $10. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
For the employees, like going down to a chemo and such, have we been, and we may have, I can't remember right now, looking at maybe setting up some sort of ridership pass that they can, so that there's a discount for somebody who's a frequent flyer who's going to work, then they just flash a pass?
Yeah, historically, it's been that we reach out and offer these to employers, and then
Mhm.
that's a benefit that they would pay for their employees, and they get these punch cards. You know, and whatever means or mechanism, maybe it is the employee going to the employer saying, do you have this program? And if not, we'd still offer that to them as well.
Right.
Definitely for this year, again, without having the,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
fares in place, yeah.
It'd have to be for next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think makes a lot of sense, especially for like chemo employees and things like that.
Agreed. And I have been in discussions with, John, I think his name's John Neal. He, recognizes that a donation is relevant and due. And, we were a little late this year on the ask, so, he said that he'll definitely, put it in the focus for this coming year, so hopefully something comes of that. So, we are generating, I think we have 45 employers that are served, or just major employees or employers that are served on in the county. 50 even?
Yeah.
Okay, so it went up by 5, that's excellent. Tyler's currently generating the point of contact, the CEO, the board dates of their board meetings, so that we could attend those, and then just contact information and the towns that they are located in, so that we can, I don't want to say the word attack, but focus.
Yeah. So that's basically the light work plan for the revenue generation.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Those will be our contact points in general. Hey, fairs are coming back around. Be aware that your employees are affected by this, but also going directly and saying, this is the service that's being provided. This is what we're up against, and how can you help?
Mhm. Awesome. That is great. So will that be happening like January, February?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Because that was the other thing that definitely came up, we heard quite a bit, is how can you guys raise money elsewhere, right?
I was, I don't even remember where, I was at the co-op, at Hungerman Co-op in Montpelier, and they had the thermometer where the thermometer popped off the top, and they even made more than they were looking for, And I'm like, it's not a bad idea. We could just do a basic donation and have that available too, in a more robust, visual type way.
Yeah, where your stop is at the downtown plaza at the corner of the Merchants intersection. Several times, United Way has had a thermometer symbol there for their fundraising efforts. That's like super public.
If we put it up right there, would people go and donate to United Way or everything?
Hopefully you'll put your name on it.
It's not like a donation box right there, though.
No.
I was gonna say, like, okay.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention from that? Curious, were there any, obviously we'll talk about this in the board meeting next week, but from the information you have received so far through engagement in public hearing, has any of that information given you cause to change the scope of the reductions?
Well, we reached out to, I reached out to JR. I think he's the VP of operations or person relations or something like that. I cannot remember his title, from RRMC, and sent him a letter saying, these are the impacts. Really like to talk to somebody about them, if it's him or somebody else, if he could get me in contact with them. But that, if they could help fund at least that hospital piece, we would put back on the half an hour.
And how much would you guys need from that?
It would be I think it's 111,000.
Okay.
118. I have it in the office right here, but it was definitely over 100.
I don't think that's unreasonable for the hospital to pony up.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and even if it was getting us so far, if they could, yeah. I was half of it. Board, the RMC.
I used to know quite a few people on there. Let's see.
There's been a lot of changes there. I've lost track who's who over
Oh,
there now.
Joan Gamble's the vice chair. I can
Right.
get after her for sure. Mark Alderman, we know him. Renee Baskin, we know her. Dick Corsell,
Dick Corsell is Rutland Mental Health.
Matt Kinsman
It's on board.
is on the Mark Foley Jr. I know him well. David Weeks. All right.
Yeah,
There's some Bill Olson's on there. Okay. There's some folks we know. I think we can, especially since Joan is vice chair.
Who's the chair?
Denise Clark
Oh, okay.
from Ann Clark Cookie Cutters.
Oh, yeah.
little sidestep, but I think another thing that came from that was hearing the outpour about the city service. We did also take the initiative to send the survey out, and over the weekend, you said you've got 50?
No, one day.
Oh,
I
one
got
day.
52.
Okay,
And then just this morning, I've gotten one more paper copy and two more online survey results. So, yeah, we've definitely got a lot of feedback on that. And just from a rough look at it, it's mostly a lot of social wellness visits, a lot of meals and groceries, not as much work with that, which surprised me. But I haven't done full analysis of the data yet. That's just from my inputting it into the spreadsheet.
okay. Then is that somebody that you would reach out to or start a contact?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Let's move on unless there's anything else. You guys good? Okay. Ridership data comparison.
I was gonna put that up on the screen and share it with everybody, so it's
Great.
easy access.
Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, looks good. To see down to ski school.
Yes.
Okay, so we definitely, definitely looking at some consistent declines in our ridership across the board.
Well, yeah, don't forget, in November, we didn't have the Women's Cup, so that's gonna hit you for sure.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
is a very good point. Yep. Yeah, okay, you wanna? Let's just move back to October just for a minute, or is there one that you guys would like to see more than any other? I'm just gonna take a step back, then we'll look at a more generic month where there wasn't a large event going on. Okay, so consistent with a year ago, up from 3 years ago. Yeah, if we look at it like this, we're up by, almost double, which is great.
Mhm.
And then, or even from 2021, but in the packets, we also had all the way back to 2019, I believe, which shows an overarching major decline by about 300,000 with all of our trips, which is kind of how I look at the ridership, is that overarching piece when we're just looking at ridership. And then we can hone into these based on town for town. Is there anything that the group wants to see in specific, or anything that the, that the board appreciated seeing before? Or is this a pretty good point of view of it?
That's good.
Yeah, looks good.
It's nice to see that the South route basically absorbed the South extension numbers, because they're not listed here, but I remember them being like under 2,000, I think. So it looks like from that reduction, we haven't necessarily lost total ridership, at least not a significant portion.
Something's going on with the second portion there, though. The last year and this year match. So, you see what I'm saying? Okay, so a year ago in 1 year ago, October 2023 to this month in 2024, the numbers are exactly the same. I think there's a typo in there.
For which,
The bottom ones, it says in a year ago, 2023, 2718, hospital route 2718. You see it?
Yeah,
In this column here. and
Yeah.
In this column here, this one, yeah, I see.
So maybe, yes, jump.
oh, you're looking at.
Okay, let me jump back to November because there, so with what you were saying, the south and the, knowing that the CMAP route was in there, south extension. Because the hospital route took some of those as well, right?
Right,
And that's down. Same.
which the,
Hmm.
Scroll down if you guys want to see more. Do you want me to scroll down? I don't know. Oh, there's the totals.
There we go.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we're down again.
was talking to a planner from GMT over the weekend, and he was saying they're installing automatic counters on their buses, for the first time, and he said they're not expensive, they're like 10,000 a piece or so, but it's the software is fairly expensive, like for the initial at least. I can't remember what he said it was. It was
Where is
50 or
this?
80, huh?
Where is this going?
On all the GMT city routes. Yeah,
Is this for cashless fares or just little?
this is for rider counter.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's in the standard frame, so
Yeah.
like when you, it's counts direction,
Yeah.
right? So if you're going in or out.
Okay.
That's good for them.
Mhm,
They have a fleet of about between 45 and 60 buses.
mhm.
And
Pretty similar. And you could phase it over time, because right now, I mean, what you guys are doing are light years better than what was happening before, paper versus now a tablet, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
drop offs, pickups by the point, time of day, everything, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot, it's a lot.
That's so much better.
And we don't have.
And that'll be really exciting. It's not updated to do anything with it yet, but I think ultimately that'll be important.
We definitely, I know we only had from October on so far, but already just seeing the current trends when we were going through these exercises with the different scenarios or the reductions, it was valuable. Because we could see on which of the commuter routes were more heavily utilized on the AM 1 or 2 or PM 1 or 2.
Yeah, yeah,
It was.
that'll be critical. All right, well, this is nice to see ridership data again, you know. For informational purposes, if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
The Ludlow's not a full month. It's just Thanksgiving weekend, right? Or is that
Right.
your run? Okay, yeah.
Yep, November is only representing, well, because they started up in, you're right, they are
Sure,
only
okay.
running those 5 months, yeah.
I
Yeah,
assume
it was only
July
4
through
days.
October's 2025. If you
This
click on
October was
October's
only 4
map.
days. I mean, November, excuse me. I
She's
said this
saying-
November was only 4 days.
So you want to try, you're saying,
If you click October tab, it says 2024.
I saw that and I was wondering about that as well. Maybe
It might just
that
be-
might just be by comparison.
Yeah, so maybe that is not 2025 data.
Well, we're in 26, it would have been 24, would have been 25 in October, so yeah, actually it's right. It's so
But
confusing.
you're October 1, all right? This is the changeover?
Oh, it's July 1st.
Yeah. Oh, your state fiscal year.
Yeah.
So it would have been FY 26.
Yeah, so this is the 25. And then we're in 26,
Gotcha,
yeah,
okay. All right,
okay.
let's move on. to financials.
Well, Patty, you're here. You want to run through?
Yeah, let me take a quick look because I don't have any access to it here from my laptop.
Okay.
You can send it over to you real quick, Patty?
Well, yeah, it's, I mean, if you're, I don't have the ability to scroll, so it's,
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
oh,
Sorry, you're not feeling well, Patty.
oh, you know what? I'm on my laptop and I don't have the ability to open my,
Email.
I got to get my laptop hooked up to this system because I don't have the ability to open up the, my bus account off my laptop. This is because this is the only laptop I have is my personal one.
Hmm.
I don't have access to the bus email on here, so I can't open anything you're sending me anyway.
That's SharePoint.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll just send it over like this.
She should be able to log in online to SharePoint.
Yeah.
And do everything off that on the cloud.
Yeah, we have been discussing either a guy getting me a laptop or letting me use my personal laptop. But SimQuest has to get in there and take care of all the VPNs and all the other stuff they do. So they're in charge of us.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
There's only a couple games in town, so.
Yeah, basically, I mean, if you want to look at this is all through November with some of December expenses included in there. We're billed and approved all the way through November. So we're just waiting for money from the state.
And this represents, Patty, this here represents up until November, correct?
Yeah, the revenue goes all the way up through November and there's some December expenses in there. So,
So there's the second portion, that's all of our local, that 4,200 revenue. Those are all those local revenues there.
What's the ideal percentage, Patty, we're trying to hit right now?
well, right now we're July, August, September, October, November. We're 5 months in, so we should be somewhere close to, 50%. But it's kind of hard to say an ideal percentage because we have two totally different seasons.
Oh,
July, August, and September are quite low, and then we boom in December, January, February, March. So it's more of a curve than a perfect percentage. I'm actually working on, and I don't know if you want to share that, Jade, but I'm working on a projection right now, a month-by-month projection.
I don't have a way to share it.
Yeah, closer idea of where we are. Jade has seen it. It's a month-by-month projection, trying to capture exactly all of our expenses through June 30th. So we can make more informed decisions on where we're going to be going. We're also waiting on some information from the state for some additional funds we're going to be getting and how they're going to apply them. Are they going to stick them in our admin or O&D?
Well, we know where they're gonna go. The 150 is going directly towards admin and then 100 is going towards O&G. We just have not received the confirmation of the.
Yeah, we haven't received the confirmation and we haven't received the 242 either, the payback amount, so where that's going to go, so. But right now we're working on a projection to see where we're going to be June 30th to sort of try to back up the decisions we're making right now as far as cutting routes. But nice to hear that the hospital might be considering putting some money in because I think that would make a difference in that route, definitely.
What's 401A employer, line 5165?
That's the amount of money we put into employees for their retirement fund. We have a 5%.
How is that so far over budget?
The budget was not broken down. It was broken down into just fringes. So I plugged in numbers accordingly. The budget I was given was very,
Consolidated.
yeah, it was consolidated. There was not a breakdown detail of fringe benefits and other areas. So
It was always wages and fringe and
a
passport.
lot of the,
sales
yeah, a lot of the
fees.
fringe, the fringe benefits areas are sort of plugged in numbers.
Yeah, one of the great benefits that we saw moving to QuickBooks was that fact that we could really break down and hone in on these lines and be able to say like, you know, for example, on stationery alone, this is what we're spending, and look more in the minute details to really see where spending's happening, and some of those lines that were congregated in, like Patty said, it was just fringe or miscellaneous or what have you. So Patty's done a great job, really breaking.
Yeah,
it
we're
down.
doing, I'm also working on a very detailed budget, and one of the areas of the budget that I'm paying a lot of attention to is employee benefits, because it's really important to know, how many people you're giving, you're matching a 401k with, and how many people have health care and dental care, because it does make a big difference when you start seeing how much each employee is costing you,
Exactly.
rather than just putting in a lump sum based on last year. It doesn't, it's better to look ahead and see exactly who's on the plan for the following year and what's it going to cost us at a base and what we should be budgeting for that.
Can I ask you this, are the buckets like line 6,000 for labor maintenance versus line 5,100 direct labor and benefits? Do those buckets, are they completely isolated buckets, or is there cost sharing between them? Because I'm just looking at lines 60, 80, 401k maintenance, you're like 32,000, 33,000 under budget, but then 401A, you're 30 something over budget. So will that balance out?
Not against this budget, no. I mean, I can go back in and try to break it down differently than it was, but unfortunately,
It's because they're pulling from different accounts.
Well, and I think the importance behind that, Patty, is because you do have it still as preventative maintenance, operations and admin, that we can look this coming fiscal year and say, okay, we asked for 950,000, we need $1 million in that one. And oh, we had too much in this one, we want it, and then when we asked, we can shift. So I think this breakdown is helpful.
Okay, so like, it's not that we're gonna leave $32,000 on the table in this line. Okay, that's really what I was getting at, was like, if we're 32,000 over, 32,000 under, will that just
It will.
eventually shift? Okay.
It will, she will, like she said, she'll make those adjustments, but we'll be able to make the adjustments too.
Okay. So will
Right,
you
and
do
then after-
this will all be mid-year amendment?
The mid-year was December. They'll have
Okay.
a second amendment in
The spring?
March.
Okay,
the revenue section is all according to the grants. The
Right.
revenue section is pretty well
I figured,
set in
that's.
stone.
Right.
It's the expenses we had a hard time with because the budget was very consolidated, whereas we are working to, like Jade said, I think it's really important to, I mean, when you see a budget, you'll probably see it a little more consolidated, but in the background, I will have available all the detail behind that consolidated line, say fringe benefits for admin, which will really break out so you can take a look at where the actual costs are.
That'd be great. So like, for our board, the executive committee gets like every little minor detail, and then the full board sees just the generic budget and approves it, because they don't need to see. I mean, we break it down to like, how much is every person making, every single line, right? But the general public in the full board, they can see if they want it, but they typically don't want to see it, right?
Right.
So this is nice. I've never, ever seen this organization's budget broken down like this. And it's nice. It's nice. Even if like things are imperfect or gonna be in flux, at least it gives some baseline And all I want to do is compare against the budget. That's all I care about ultimately.
Right, and unfortunately, this year it is a bit flux because of, you know, the consolidated version we had last year, but going forward, when you see the first phases of the FY 27 budget, you'll see a great deal of detail in all areas.
Mhm.
But we are doing our best when we're doing allocations to make sure we are correctly capturing the fringes for the maintenance employees, the ops employees, the admin employees. They were kind of lumped together at one point and they were using the allocation percentages to divide them out. Now we're trying to more direct expense things. So we have a true cost of the different admin, PM, and ops. Same with any of the expenses. We're trying to keep those in the areas they really belong in.
So because of the time of year, we're seeing this like pretty significant, oh wait, no, that's the budget line. So net operating income for actuals 213, 816. The budget's showing the deficit.
The budget was showing a deficit of 933, yes.
And that's where we're getting the help from the state and then the reductions, right?
Yes.
Thanks for entertaining all those questions, Patty. It's helpful to understand where we're at.
She also doesn't have, I think I heard you right, Patty, you don't have the 250,000 that's gonna be added to revenue. That's the help from the state you were talking about.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not sure you guys, we went over this, I think last meeting or the meeting before, we went over the fact that there was an overbilling from January to June and for 242,000, that was in operations. We have asked the state that they want us to write them a check for 242 and then in turn they're going to put it right back into the budget, which is nice of them, right back into grants, excuse me. But still we have to spread it out. And since we seem to be, you know, overbilled on O&D and admin most all years, we're going to ask them to take some of that, even though it was originally overbilled in ops, to please let us put it where we need it. So we're not overspent in those areas and we have a little extra breathing room. Whether they're going to approve that or not, I don't know. I think they will.
Okay.
Patty?
All right. Other business.
Right on that.
No, eerie. I only have one thing for other business. Ethan and I were, we can take this offline, but Ethan and I were talking the other day. He wasn't sure what the status on the sign package update was. Just knowing, based on our work with municipalities right now, there are like significant increases coming and delays with sign materials. So it may benefit us to place that order like immediately because of the tariffs on steel. So I was curious, have you guys, I know you're so busy, and that's the other thing Ethan wanted me to share, like, if you want to utilize him to assist with any of this work, he's willing to do that. But I know at this point, I think it's like design and procurements, that's all that's left.
Pretty much so. It's been a bit since I last touched this, but where I left off was I got the 3 quotes and everything, different vendors, looking at what it was. I cannot remember the name of the vendor I wanted to go with, but I did have that in my email. And my
Oh, awesome. So you've done procurement.
Yeah, I have all that set. It's pretty much I just need to add a little space at the bottom of the sign for that little pole mount.
Yep.
And then send them the order.
Awesome.
Yes, it's other things have gotten
Obviously, yeah, I just wanted to throw it on your radar in terms of like that tariff piece and then
I wasn't thinking about it.
the delays in ordering.
Is that like a current problem or is it?
It's a current problem.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds like towns are trying to act fast. And the reason this was brought up is there's a grant right now for towns to do sign packages. So we're working with some towns on those and the money's not going as far as it used to. Let's just say that.
Okay. Well, thanks for the heads up. from me
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
that.
Yep.
It's great.
Billy, Matt, any other business?
No, though I would like to chime in that I agree. I mean, I've been on the board for I don't know how long. For a long time, that's the first time I've seen a really comprehensive budget and explanation of things. We haven't had that in the past, so that's great to see.
Okay, great.
Ditto.
I do want to bring up too, one last thing. Tracy had reached out, said, you know, she was disappointed she's not been able to show up. She's been having conflicts with work. She said she would like to stay on the board, but understands if we have to make some changes. I'm wondering if it makes sense for us to change potentially just the executive appointment for her. Because we really just, at this point, with everything going on, we need people to show up. And you guys have been great. So, you know, I want to support the three of us that have been showing up. So, you know, this is something that would have to go before the full board anyways, but I'm curious, is there any desire? And the person I'm thinking about that I would really like to replace her with would be Albert Puenta. He's just so thoughtful and thorough, and he reads all the material, he does all the things, he's retired, so he's got the time to do it.
He does the
And-
homework.
And it would be nice to have another municipal rep on, in addition to Billy, so.
Yep.
Okay.
That sounds
I
good
haven't
to me.
even talked to him about this, he might say no, but if we all agree, then maybe I can touch base with him before next meeting, we can bring this up then.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah,
Fine,
okay.
yeah.
No, of course you do, yeah. Maybe not, you don't get a vote, but. All right.
Can you guys stay on after we got off this recorded meeting? I got some stuff to talk to you about on
Yeah.
what happened at the public hearing, some comments, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are adjourned at 9:54 a.m. Thank you all. Patty, feel better. Matt,
Thank
enjoy
you.
the
Mhm.
last of your little break for the holiday.
We are trying to figure out how to pull together an orientation for a small group of students. You don't want to overwhelm them, so it's kind of a challenge. It's so much
Yeah.
easier when it's a big group, so.
Seriously,
All right, thanks so much.
take care.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Have we stopped recording?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.